welcome everyone to the single rate spot section. Before we're gonna start looking deeper at specific boards and sizes and strategies, I just want to quickly explain the strategy me and Doug came up with. So it has all the different sizes and frequency for all the different boards you're gonna play. And the idea is that all of these you are playing a single size. So for example, here on the Ace-X King X pairs, you're playing 30% size at a 70% frequency, so that means you are only using 30% size on that board, and that's going to be the global average frequency for all the Ace-X King X paired boards. So just going together, you can sort of see we have all the different board textures section off, paired, your monotones, all your different straights, all your non-paired flops, and then as you go down, you also have your out of position check raise sizes. So again, you have all the different sections of the textures and what size you will use. And then also as you scroll down, you will get all the different probe turn sizes, and then also some river sizes after probing turn. Also your delay probe. So anything that's a flop or a turn size, that's meant to be single size, and anything that's river in general gonna be two sizes. So that's roughly how the document will look, and you can easily see what type of size you will use for what kind of spot. Then you also have the average frequency, which will be very beneficial because the way I sort of approach and think about spot is, for example, say we get an Ace-X wheel board, right? I see it's 30% size, 50% frequency, and then I will sort of classify hands in general as, say, pure check, low frequency bet, medium frequency bet, high frequency bet, and then a pure bet. So I can sort of easily then both rank my hands and then roughly estimate what kind of frequency I will be using for my exact hand. So say Ace King, for example. Since I know it's a 50% frequency board, I know that in general the high frequency of that wouldn't be, say, 90+% frequency or something like that. It would be probably closer to like an 80% frequency bet. And then if it was a high frequency board, then something like a high frequency bet would be, again, higher than that board frequency. So if it's, 80% frequency board, then it would be closer to a 90% bet or even a pure bet. So you can sort of use this document to easier navigate your exact holding and adjust your frequency appropriately, so you will be able to be a bit more accurate. And then also quickly wrote down this, and in general this is how I approach spots. So I didn't write anything for the exploits because this course is not going to be about that at all. It's mainly going to be building, the strong fundamentals. But first you always want to go from, say, a solver or GTO approximation, where you will break it down top from bottom. So say this type of board, good or bad for me in terms of EV. What's my size? What's my overall frequency here? That's in general stuff you need to know, and then you can keep going down. So for example, is there something specific about the board that will shift the frequency from the global average? Say in general, for example, rainbow boards tend to be a slightly higher frequency than the global average. So if you see the rainbow board, you will know that your overall frequency will increase. And then finally, it's about your exact holding, your exact hand. So again, the way I will think about hands is I don't think about it sort of what's the exact frequency I'm gonna bet here or stuff like that. It's more ranking them in terms of, we will have our pure checks, we will have our low frequency bets, medium frequency bets, high frequency bets, and then pure bets. And that makes it a lot easier for me to sort of group hands together and make it very digestible for me when I play, because then I can very quickly see, okay, this is a 30% sizing board, the frequency average is 70%. I see some things that will shift the frequency, say, a bit higher, so say 75% frequency, and then I will sort of know through a lot of study where my exact holding would rank on that type of board. So if I know it's a high frequency bet, I know it's going to be a bit higher than the 7% frequency of the board, for example. Then within maybe 10-15 seconds, I have a very good both understanding and plan what to do with my exact hand, and that will be fairly close to what a solver output will be for that spot, for example. So yeah, I think that it for the intro, and let's actually start looking at some of our flop c bets starting off.